Ladies and gentlemen, fold all your worldly possessions into a matchbox. Wrap yourself in the warm, soft blanket of solitude, and hope that you never tire of your own company.
Because it's time to talk Tull to me. You know, the blanket of solitude is what Superman called his bed in his space, the fortress.
That's
of
right.
solitude.
Yeah. He also had his wubby of solitude.
Every night he would drink his warm milk of solitude.
Welcome back, everyone. I am Omen Sade.
And I am Nick McGill.
Together, we are Feckless Momes.
And this is Talk Tull to Me.
A solitudinous meditation on the dark void that is prog rock. Every breath an album, every heartbeat a song, until we eventually achieve enlightenment and realize that we are all Ian Anderson.
Our mantra is Om, Om, oh my God, did you hear those strings?
So, Nick, what do we have the pleasure of meditating about today?
We are going to meditate on the idea of skating away on the thin ice of the new day.
Good.
However,
we
have an email.
Your emails, sir.
This is from Jeff B., a new writer inner. Jeff B.
Welcome, Jeff.
Welcome to the fold of people who are bold or bored enough to write to the Feckless Momes.
Jeffy Bubs.
Jeffy Bubs. The subject is more exposure.
I've been asked to stop that by various authorities, actually.
Less exposure when it comes to Omen, but yeah, definitely. Jeff writes, "Hey guys, love the show. I just stumbled on it from a reference in a comment on a Tull YouTube video.
Oh.
I wish I had known about your podcast earlier. There are a bunch of us Tull fans throughout the world. Somehow you need to get the word out on this great podcast."
Oh. What a delightful compliment / reprimand.
I would love to. Love to. It would be great. I asked him, and I actually responded to him. I said, "Hey, what's the video? Let us know. I'll put in the link, and we'll spread the love that way." And he couldn't find it. He said, "I can't find the comment with the reference to your podcast. I guess I have watched a bunch of Tull videos in the last few weeks."
Oh my gosh.
I think it may have been a Helene video where she reacts to Tull footage and Ian's flute playing. She gets a ton of comments. It may be good for someone to reference your podcast in those comments. And clearly it is, because we got you, Jeff.
That's right. The bee has come back to the hive to drink the sweet honey of Feckless Momes.
So a couple of things. I looked on a variety of the Helene videos where she listens to Tull, and there are literally thousands of comments, and I could not, I went until my heart broke. I tried looking, but just the comment field on YouTube is
oh yes,
it's woof. So I beseech the writer of said comment to write into us. momes@fecklessmomes.com, or head on over to fecklessmomes.com, and there's a contact us right on that front page.
Yeah, there is.
Let us know who you are and what the video was and what the comment was. And thank you. Thank you for talking about us on a place where a lot more eyes, especially from Tull fans, will be seeing our podcast. We appreciate that.
And additionally, to all of the Knights of Tull out there, if you are voyaging into the dark, godless lands that are the YouTube comment sections on Tull videos, please feel free to drop our name that, like a holy relic, will guide others toward the truth of our podcast.
the truth of Jethro Tull.
The truth That is, we are indeed a podcast that talks about Jethro Tull.
Business card worthy, definitely, for sure.
So, wonderful. Yes.
And lastly, thank you so much, Jeff, for writing in. We super appreciate it. We love to hear from our fans.
Indeed.
We love to hear how you heard of us too. So that's primo. Awesome.
Welcome.
Yes, welcome to the fold of Tull Skulls.
Yes.
That's all I have right there.
Wow.
It's been a while.
It has been a little while. So, Nick.
Yeah, Omen.
Shall we, or shall we not? Nick, shall we take a deep breath and listen to the song that is on the docket for this week?
What if I just said no and we just ended the episode right here?
Well, I would get to my evening activities a lot sooner.
Wow, okay. Heavy-handed. Yes, let us listen to Skating Away on the Thin Ice of the New Day.
And as you said, Nick, before, this is the first track off of the B-side of the War Child album. Is that correct?
Correct. Absolutely correct.
Okay.
Yep.
Just wanted to get my orientation correct.
Yep. Just think about it in the timeline of this album.
I've just flipped over the record. The needle is down. I'm sinking into an armchair, and let's have a listen.
I've just flipped over the lime green cassette, and I'm listening.
Meanwhile, back in the year one, when you belonged to no one, you didn't stand a chance, son, if your pants were undone.
Wow, Nick McGill.
Oh, goodness, Omen Sade.
That was truly the first song on the B-side of the War Child album.
That is one of the most factual things you've said in a while.
It's probably the only factual thing that I will say for the rest of the day.
I'm honored to hear it. It seems a little odd to say this, but I forgot how darn good this song is.
You know, this is one of the songs that, growing up, I think this was probably one of the songs on the compilation album that I first had off of Tull. Mm-hmm. And this was always one of the songs that I would listen to whenever I needed kind of a mood boost, because the sound of it just always brought me such delight and hopefulness and good feelings.
Yeah, it's light, it's airy, everything's kind of at a higher note, a higher pitch. It's nice. Despite the lyrical content being a bit depressing, musically it's very nice, and it's kind of an easy, a gentle uplift, because it's not crazy fast paced. It's just a nice little, just a purely acoustic number. It's
also in 4/4. Which is kind of a relief after all these bizarre time signatures, and it's got a little bit of a swing to it. It's a little bit of a swung 4/4. So it's straightforward, and it's relaxing, and it's just so delightful that I love it.
That 4/4 probably lends to its being so relaxing, because traditionally we're accustomed to a lot of Tull, us being on the edge of our ear seats. You know, with drastic changes here and there, but this one's kind of it's a nice mellow note in terms of, okay, I don't need to think too hard about listening to this song.
Bit of a palate cleanser after side A with all the extremely robust rhythmic changes.
Yeah, I was gonna go for the palate cleanser analogy, but we use that one a lot.
Well, I like a clean palate, Nick.
But it works. It works.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why you gargle bleach. The cleanest of palettes.
So clean. So clean.
Burned clean.
The other thing that's delightful about this track is there's such a wonderful, what's the word I'm looking for? Not biome. What do you call a collection? Ecology. There's a lovely ecology. No, that's not quite the word. What do you call like a collection, like a network of animals?
I would a climate, a food chain.
There's a wonderful food chain of instruments on this.
Well, yeah, I mean, I don't hate that.
But it's, it starts off with something that, of course, our listeners will know that both of us are fans of, which is Ian's fine-ass guitar playing.
Mm-hmm. Well, the track starts with another one of our little kind of sound snippets.
That's right. Let's actually talk about that for a second. So what do we hear, Nick?
It's Ian. Picture this, if you will.
Yes, I'm ready.
Ian Anderson at the stove
Yes.
and the kitchen, the kitchen sink,
Yes.
making tea for himself.
Yes.
We hear the clinking of teaspoons and teacups on saucers.
He's a man who takes sugar.
He clearly takes sugar. There's a little tinkle of the spoon hitting the cup,
Yeah.
and he's humming to himself the whole time. I believe it's Skating Away, isn't it?
It is. Now, I think that he opens a packet of biscuits
Okay.
because I heard some crinkling, and I attributed that to biscuits.
Whenever I hear a crinkle, I expect there to be a
Yes,
biscuit.
exactly. Like a rescue dog.
Yeah, it's your Pavlovian response to crinkles.
Yeah.
So he's making the tea and he's humming along, and it's nice because it's like a little snapshot. He's humming and then he takes a sip in between and it breaks up the hum, but he picks right back up. It's fun, it's pleasant.
And it sounds very satisfied. I mean, it's clear that he's by himself, which is a contrast to the top of side A, in which, there's the woman making tea for her partner.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That audioscape bookends the first side of the album, and this is tea again, but it's a solo tea.
Right. It is our character from previous snippets making his own tea. That's all.
And he just seems so happy about it. He's not telling himself that actually no, he has to rush off to work. Yes, he is having this cup of tea.
Yeah. It's this song is the sweet, calm cup of tea.
Yes.
In the afternoon.
I wonder if he's a Twinings man or a Yorkshire Gold gentleman, or maybe it's a cup of Darjeeling, Nick.
Well, if we had the opportunity to speak to Ian Anderson, that would certainly be the first question that we ask him.
One question to ask him. That's what it would be.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Welcome. Come back next week, and we'll listen to the next song.
Next week to talk tea to me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So, Nick, after that, then, of course, we have the acoustic guitar, which is delightful. We have some really
very nice.
Some really peak voice singing from Ian Anderson. And then we have like this lovely menagerie, this ecosystem, that's the word I was looking for, of instruments that join in. First we have the xylophone.
So as you push off from the shore, won't you turn your head once more and make your peace with it?
Then we have the bongo or some other kind of a hand drum.
Yeah. Yep.
Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of the new day.
The squeeze box comes in a little bit later.
Mm-hmm.
John Evan squeezing it out.
And make your peace with everyone. For those who choose to stay, who will live just one more day to do the things they should have done.
And then Martin's like really twangy guitar.
Yeah, really overdrive.
In that second chorus.
But very, very sparingly used. He just goes, it's just that little like, skr, skr, in a couple of places.
Oh, no. Yeah, that's later on, but when he comes in the second chorus, it's that pew, 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 pew.
Oh.
It almost sounds like a steel guitar.
Oh, I missed
I know
that.
it's just got to be like a pedal or a filter or something, but it's really cool. It's really cool. It's a really unique sound that we've heard from Martin.
Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of a new day. And as you cross the wilderness, spending in your emptiness, you feel you have to pray.
And then what I love, my favorite part of this song musically, is not until a bit later when Ian sings the verse. It's in the last stanza. You're a rabbit on the run. Then the bass and drums drop in. Mm-hmm. And the bass is really pumped up. I mean, it's really like...
Boop, 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 boop,
yeah,
boop,
it's
boop,
great.
boop,
And it
boop,
totally
boop.
changes the
Yeah.
feeling of the song. The drums are back there.
You're a rabbit on the run, and the silver splendors fly in the corner of your eye, shining in the setting sun.
And then it kind of like... That's sort of that's the collection that we have until the very end. And then at the very end, we have something very strange.
What's that?
Well, the song ends, but...
Oh, how bizarre. Never expected that.
But after the song ends, but before the track ends, we have that very disquieting, unidentifiable kind of science fiction-y theremin or backwards strings, that sort of...
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like it's fading away almost. Yeah.
And it's so interesting that he just puts that at the very end of the song. It's almost like that one shot in a film that makes you reevaluate everything that you've seen before.
Yeah. What am I supposed to take away from this?
Right.
And how does it change the lens that I'm looking at this movie?
Yeah, it's like one of those 1950s, high school movies, and everyone is just like, "Oh, the sports team has done it, even though they were expected not to." And then it zooms out, and the last shot you see is the horrific looking aliens who've been monitoring the whole thing, and it's just like 2 seconds, and the movie's done. You're like, "What?
What? Why?
What?
Why show me this?" Yeah, I'm okay with that analogy, that assessment. I think that works.
I'm glad, because I haven't got another one.
That's it. That's the one.
I'm
That's all you get.
Used up.
So there are two moments in this. This is a song that I've heard in concert several times, and I've heard on a lot of the live albums and the live bootlegs that they play fairly regularly.
Yeah.
There are 2 points in this song where they don't quite do the reverb and the echo like they do on the song.
Okay.
So there's a point. Oh, let's see. Oh, meanwhile, back in the year 1, and then like, Ian hits a pedal, and it's just this weird like filter on his voice, and he says year 1 when you belong to no one, and he says no one, and I can't. I'll try and find it on all of the live bootlegs that I have, but I've heard it consistently, and it seems peculiar because I don't think it really adds to the song. I think just a little reverb would be really nice.
You belong to no one. When you belong to no one. No one. When you belong to no one.
And the same thing with the very last skating away, the last line or two.
Yes.
Skating away, yay. The way that the reverb is done, the way that the echo is done on his voice in the concerts, it's just, I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm so partial to the song the way it is, but I don't know. There's some interesting choices to make that they make consistently for their live performances.
Skating away. Skating away. Skating away.
I wonder where that came from.
Deciding to reverb those parts in a certain way.
I mean, I wonder if it's one of those things that they did at one point in 1977, and they were like, well, that sounds great. Let's keep that for the next 40 years.
Yeah, because they did what they could with the technology that they had, kind of thing, and it just stuck, maybe. I'm not sure. It's interesting.
Or, maybe there was formerly some kind of a visual or performance element that went with that was clarified that, or that was in reference to that by the time you saw it that they didn't do.
Okay, it's possible. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure the pageantry changed much more regularly and frequently than the actual performance of the songs.
Well, Nick,
so it could be like a bygone artifact.
No one likes stale pageantry.
That was Mark Twain, I think.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
He said that. Yeah. It's the vestigial tale of this song.
Of pageantry's past.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Who knows? Maybe just to know. I'm curious if any of the listeners knows what I'm talking about, if they've seen their shows, and I'm sure plenty of our listeners have seen and heard their live shows.
Right. Probably.
It's just
before we did.
Yeah. True. Yeah. It's just something that always sticks out to me when I listen to this song off the album.
So Nick, let's jump into the meaning of this song. And now that we've covered the kind of the sonic qualities.
Yeah. Let's start out by reminding the sweet juicy listeners that this is one of only two survivors from the chateau.
The Chateau Désastre.
Yeah, that Chateau de Reville. That was pretty good.
That was
time.
Not bad. Yeah.
Yeah, this is one of two that actually got recorded and came away as usable content.
Yeah. Nick, when pronouncing French, you want to know a trick as to how to do it?
Think about having phlegm in your mouth.
That's step one. Yes. Step two is take a look at all the letters that compose a word, and then choose half of them and say, I will not.
Is it consistent which letters don't get chosen, or
indeed
is
not.
your interpretation of de Reville is different than mine?
No, it has to be the same letters. The same letters get ignored. But that's like a cultural memory that comes down from people far in the past who hated some letters in some words.
The letter hatred has gone on too long.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Content-wise.
Right. So we know that this predates a lot of the material that is on this album.
Yep.
Recorded in Switzerland for tax purposes, and here we are. Now we don't know if bits were added or it was souped up or if it was really in its original condition. Unknown.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But let me ask you this little detail-oriented question, Nick. Mm-hmm. What the heck is this song about?
just a minor question.
Let's just get that out of the way.
So from everything that I've read about this song, this is one of the first songs that we see that is really kind of blatant commentary about climate change.
Now, you say blatant, but if you had not told me that, I don't think that I would ever pull that out of these lyrics. Okay.
Maybe I don't know, maybe because I know about it
right.
seems evident to me. Yeah.
That's possible.
But Ian is very vocally and clear on record that I was talking about climate change before climate change was a thing. It's that Venn diagram of climate change and overpopulation.
Right.
As one leading to the other.
Yes. I mean, of course, there's an argument to be made that, it's less population, which is the problem, and more distribution of resources and the way that
Sure.
Commerce is conducted, which is really the problem rather than population. But that's on our podcast. Oh, what's a word for?
Posit population with me.
Yes. Yep, that's it.
But I think in some sense, let's remember this was in 74. Things were a lot. This sounds so trite, but things were looked at a lot more simply. Like, oh, climate change because too many people. We didn't have the science to back everything.
That was the beginning of a real explosion in population that I'm sure was extremely concerning for people at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas for us, it's like, oh yeah, there's 7 billion people, so.
Yeah. When we're slowly ticking up on that, and we've had the hottest year recorded every single year for the last, 4 or 5 years of my life.
Yeah. So
yeah, it happens.
So that's right. So that's obviously much more front and center for us. But at the time, it was more focused on population, like you're saying.
Sure. Yeah.
But now, what in the lyrics? Where? Or do you have any quotes from Mr. Anderson about this?
You're saying like an actual, like him talking about it, or from the song?
Either.
I don't have any direct quotes. I have the Ballad of Jethro Tull is out sitting on a shelf over there, and honestly, Omen, I'm not going to go get it.
I respect your dedication to your sedentary lifestyle, Nick.
And because I don't know where it is in the actual reference, but I'm sure I could find it, and honestly, I'll probably look it up after this.
Great, I love that.
To confirm.
So then let's talk about the lyrics. What do we have there?
Sure.
What can we pull out from that?
Well, because you were bred the second, the first portion, the first two verses, to me are about the overpopulation aspect. Meanwhile, back in the year 1, when you belonged to no one, you didn't stand a chance, son, if your pants were undone, because you were bred for humanity and sold to society. One day you'll wake up in the present day, a million generations removed from expectations of being who you really want to be.
Meanwhile, back in the year 1, when you belonged to no one, you didn't stand a chance, son, if your pants were undone, 'cause you were bred for humanity and sold to society. One day you'll wake up in the present day, a million generations removed from expectations of being who you really want to be.
The key there is a million generations removed from expectations of being who you really want to be.
Okay. Unpack that a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. The million generations basically is there. We're getting more and more people on the planet. We are X number of generations back from when mankind started. Mm-hmm. And removed from expectations of being who you really want to be. To me, that strikes a note of, we no longer have the luxury of being drama majors or podcasters, because everybody needs to be dedicated to the cause of figuring out what's going on with the climate, with our world.
So I think that's a very, I think that makes a lot of sense to me. For me, just on the face value of it, it read to me a little bit differently, more that the way that mankind or humanity was meant to exist, or what we're sort of made for, is really, really different from what society imposes upon us.
Oh, okay. Sure.
We were meant to, I think we've talked before, Nick, about the notion of the original affluent society, that hunter-gatherer societies like each individual works like maybe 25 hours a week and
Yeah.
has the rest of the time to, do whatever they want. Make some carvings, look at some animals, tell stories, whatever, and then they do some work and then they maybe take a nap. So it's like the highest quality of living to work ratio that has ever existed.
Okay.
And now we grind it out for 40 to 70 hours a week so that we can afford a place that we're really not that happy with.
Yeah.
And then our lawnmower just broke. And it's like, well, why are we even mowing our lawns? What is all this? What is all the nonsense?
That is roughly the theory behind universal basic income.
Right.
Is giving people the money to do what they want to do. And some people will want to work in factories. And some people will want to be an artist. And honestly, robots could replace a lot of the stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And we have the technology to do that.
Right.
So let's make it happen.
Yeah, we could play a lot more games of cards that way.
Yang 2020. That's all I'm saying.
What? Who's Yang? Is he a robot?
Andrew Yang.
Oh.
He was the one pushing for
he's
universal basic
definitely
income.
still in the race, I'm sure.
No, I dropped that a while.
Oh yeah, that's right. So let's get back to the now, Nick, let's look at the central image, the image which is contained in not only the title but the chorus of the song, skating away on the thin ice of the new day.
Skating away, skating away, skating away on the thin ice of the new day.
Have you ever ice skated, or as they say now, ice scot?
That's the past tense?
That's the new past tense.
Is it?
Oh yeah.
No. You're not serious, are you?
Yeah. When have I ever?
Don't do this to me, Owen.
When have I ever been serious? No, but have you ever been ice skating?
I've not. No, I'm not coordinated enough to do that.
Have you ever,
I'll be blatantly honest.
as a child, skated without skates, slid, I guess you could say, over frozen bodies of water?
Slod. I slod.
Oh yes, thank you. I'm so sorry.
I mean a little bit. We had a pond when I was growing up that
Right.
would freeze over.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm asking because I did a lot of I muchly slod as a youth. I just feel so.
Did you? I didn't know that.
Oh, indeed, yeah. Well, I did a lot of, when I was really little, I actually did figure skating. Explains a lot, doesn't it?
Did I? That sounds vaguely familiar. Maybe I just dreamt you figure skating.
You wouldn't be the first. But it was
Your mom never stopped dreaming you as being a figure skater.
that was when I was really small. But then once we moved from Evanston to upstate New York, I was surrounded by natural landscapes, and in the winters it got, of course, as you know, very, very cold. And one of my favorite things to do was to try to run across sheets of ice before they broke under me and dragged me down to an icy death.
And that's how Omen died when he was 5.
And that's why I am Omen 3. But
your parents are scientists. They have the cloning technology.
Like, okay.
Yep.
Get another one out of
Make
the
a
pot.
new one. Yep.
But there's a feeling when you're like going across the ice and you know that it's breaking under you, but you think you can still kind of manage it. It's really exhilarating. And part of you is like, why am I doing this? I don't have to be.
Yep. I don't have to be. That can be tied to a lot of things in life, but yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, for me, that's the feeling of this image. Skating away on the thin ice, because the future is maybe you'll get across it, maybe it'll splinter and you'll die.
Yeah, on thin ice is a term for that reason.
That's right.
It's you're in a very dangerous position,
go
a
at
very
any
dangerous
moment.
situation. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. You may not if you choose your steps wisely or your trajectory wisely. You could avoid it. But
one time I was crossing a frozen creek near my middle school, and the ice gave out underneath me, and I would have probably been in serious trouble, but I was rescued by the older sister of a girl I had a crush on. And I remember somehow chalking that up to a win, but I don't remember exactly. Don't remember the logic specifically.
Wouldn't it be a loss? Wouldn't it be embarrassing that her sister had to save you?
No, some part of me was like, this is it. This is my in.
Oh, so hey, your sister saved my life.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah, okay. Hey, girl. Your sister.
So, and that fits in perfectly. Not my anecdote, but our analysis of that lyric fits in perfectly with your environmental theme to this song.
Right? Yeah. We see the thin ice ahead. We have to make the right decisions going forward, or we could be plunged into the icy depths.
Right. And there's no other choice but to go forward.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Even scarier, even worse is like what is it? Sophie's Choice, where we have two bad decisions and you have to make one regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, scientists have been saying for decades, like, okay, it's probably 50-50. Like, either we're going to all be just fine or it's going to be a complete disaster.
And in more recent years, they've been a lot less positive about
45-45.
Yeah. And the last 10 is...
Oh, they've just...
aliens?
Yeah.
We zoom out, aliens.
Right.
Boom. End of movie.
So what about the next couple of verses there, Nick? Is there anything in there? Because for me, there's a huge change. Okay, let's talk about verse 2.
Sure.
If verse 1 is about, humanity having drifted away from its original purpose or its most authentic lifestyle, I feel like verse 2 goes back to one of Ian's favorite themes, which is religion, or more recently, faith.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And as you cross the wilderness, spinning in your emptiness, if you have to, pray, looking for a sign that the universal mind has written you into the passion play.
And as you cross the wilderness, spinning in your emptiness, you feel you have to pray. Looking for a sign that the universal mind has written you into the passion play.
Like, if you must, because this is so horrifically impersonal, this life in the void, then invent for yourself a reason that, why you have some sort of divine purpose. But that's only if you need to.
Yeah. I don't think the whole stanza is devoted to that idea, but that last couple lines, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
So the way I see the song broken up is kind of the introduction. That first verse is the introduction. It's the epilogue. It's kind of telling us how we got here.
Yeah. Prologue.
Second verse. Yeah, prologue. It's exposition. That's the word I was looking for. The second verse is you have two options. One is scary and unknown. The other is stay here and do what you're doing, but you've only got another day to live, tops. Because the world is ending. And if that scares you, go ahead and pray. If that makes you feel better, sure, why not?
So you're getting that from, and make your peace with everyone, for those who choose to stay will live just one more day to do the things they should have done. Yeah, interesting.
So as you push off from the shore, won't you turn your head once more and make your peace with everyone? For those who choose to stay, who will live just one more day to do the things they should have done.
Yeah, because it's the narrator saying, as you push off from the shore, as you are choosing to go skating, you're skating away into this unknown, turn your head once more and make your peace with everyone. Say, hey, it was a good time, good luck, you guys. I'm off. I got to do something else.
Yeah, it's a bit evolve or die.
Yeah, it is. It is. You cannot be set in your ways.
Right.
Or look at what happens. I mean, look at the United States right now. You can't be set in your ways. You just can't.
Right. Or history will leave you behind.
Yeah. Yeah. You will inevitably something will go wrong, and more likely than not, it will be catastrophic.
Right. So then what about the third verse?
So the third is our character, the narrator who is talking to the character. The character is now on his own. They have skated away. So as you cross the circle line,
Scott away.
Sorry, they scote. As you cross the circle line, well, the ice wall creaks behind.
And as you cross the circle line, well, the ice wall creaks behind. You're a rabbit on the run, and the silver splendors fly in the corner of your eye, shining in the setting sun.
That is imagery of. I mean, we've all seen video of ice shelves cracking and falling into the ocean. At this point, you're a rabbit on the run, and the silver splinters fly, pieces of ice, and in the corner of your eye, shining in the setting sun. So that's just, you're going away from this melting ice. You're going to something that's unknown, but hopefully more stable.
Now, just a fun little tidbit of the British nature, a Brit-bit, if you will.
Tidbit.
A tidbit. That sounds like a delicious, tiny little cracker.
Yes.
The Circle Line is an underground line in the London tube system.
Oh, okay.
So yes, Nick, the Circle Line is a tube line in London, which, shockingly, although you might not get this from its name, it describes a circle around London, roughly. And it crosses it has stations at Paddington, Bayswater, Notting Hill Gate, High Street, Kensington, Gloucester Road, Baker Street. Full of meaning is how I say that. Great Portland Street.
Stay tuned in 3 months.
That's right. King's Cross at St. Pancras, Barbican, Farringdon, Moorgate, Liverpool Street, Aldgate, Monument. These names are less hilarious than I thought they were going to be.
Now, Nick, I made up one of those names. Can you tell me which one is complete and utter?
And Poopington Station.
So as you cross the circle line, does that mean he's leaving? It's kind of like the Rubicon. Like if you go this far away, you kind of can't turn back.
Could be. Or it could just mean that he's leaving his house.
Yeah, I suppose it could be less dramatic than I just made it to be.
It's a border. It is a real border, and it could also be sort of a mythical border.
Yeah. And then our final couple of lines here. Well, do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and in the present tense?
Well, do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and in the present tense?
Implies that you're not. Well, I don't know. Actually, I was going to say it implies that you're not watching it. You're experiencing it.
Well, have you?
However, the next line refutes that.
Have you ever been reading a book or listening to a piece of music and kind of gotten that blurred sense of reality where you're experiencing it from the character's point of view, and then suddenly you're like, wait a minute, this story, this narrative, this myth really is about my life. And then you kind of have that sort of like in your vision.
I mean, I stopped taking LSD 40 years ago, so...
Listen, I don't need LSD to have a good time, Nick.
No, because you still have it in your system. It never goes away.
I don't need more LSD to have a good time. I do wish people would stop licking me, though.
You do resemble a toad.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so I like this set of lines, but I can't confidently fit them into my my theory here.
I think it's.
Oh, wait.
He's
no, I
having
take
a
it back.
moment. Yes.
No, yeah,
The
no, I
neurons
take
are
it back.
firing.
Because it's well, do you ever get the feeling that the story's too damn real and then the present tense? So you are not watching, you're experiencing it. It is happening to you. It's being told about you right now. And then the next line is
like the never-ending story.
Yeah, exactly. He's reading the manuscript for the War Child movie.
Right.
The next line is, or that everybody's on the stage and it seems like you're the only person sitting in the audience.
All and everybody's on the stage, and it seems like you're the only person sitting in the audience.
Like the Truman Show.
Kind of. So it kind of ties back to the idea of having two less than fantastic options. Is it's either you can be smack dead in the action with no real control of things because it's a story being told about you, or you can just sit by and watch it happen.
Well, aren't those sort of the same thing, though? Don't you have no control in either situation?
True, but yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, I think that there's...
Damn it, I guess you're right.
I'm so sorry. But I think it sort of is like two... I think he's sort of saying the same thing twice in two slightly different ways, the way that Shakespeare does.
Yeah, you're right.
Another great Scotsman, William Shakespeare.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mick Shakespeare was his original.
William, McShake my spear right in your face if you come a step closer.
Oh, I got to pay you to roll my R on this.
Okay.
Say Mick Shakespeare and really roll that R at the end.
No, you say the rest of it. I'll just roll the R.
No, I just want to hear Mick Shakespeare. Oh, Mick Shakespeare. Yeah, perfect.
Is that satisfying
Done.
for you?
Checks in the mail.
Okay. I'm gonna spend that 10 cents all in one place. In a gumball machine along with two other 10-cent pieces.
A gumball machine that accepts checks.
So I think it's that, there's this theme running through the works of Ian Anderson of the mythic and the modern.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it a lot with
Thick as a brick.
Thick as a Brick. Thank you. Thick as a Nick. Nick as a Brick.
Nick as a brick.
And, we've seen it in a lot of other places as well. But and that's what I'm getting from this, is this sense of, we as modern people tend to separate the mythological and then the modern. And what I think that one of the things that I love about Ian, and honestly, one of the reasons that Tull had such a profound impact on my life, is that he writes songs in such a way where you see that, the only difference between the great heroes of ages past and me is that they had slightly different clothes. And actually, I could wear those clothes if I wanted to.
As we saw Ian do for years and years.
Exactly. So I almost feel like it's this moment in time. This life is an epic. It is a myth. And you are the center of it, so you can do whatever you like.
Sure. Okay. And you can even sit back and watch it happen, too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Either you can sit back and watch it happen, or you can perform your part with a cumin.
A plum.
A plum flavored with cumin.
Cumin is my favorite spice.
Plums are truly a fruit. Not my favorite, but not my least favorite.
Anything else about Skating Away, Omen, you want to throw in here?
I think
there's a passion play reference, which we discussed earlier.
Pears may be my least favorite fruit.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm hard-pressed to really enjoy apples, I'm going to be honest.
What is wrong with you? Truly, I don't understand. My fiance doesn't like apples either. I'm like, what? Why?
Maybe it's you, Omen.
Oh, yes, because I'm the only person who likes apples.
Or am I your fiance? Is that what you're saying? What's going on here?
We weren't going to announce it until the next album, but
We're going to do
we are.
a fiancé photo shoot.
That's right.
Or an engagement photo shoot, yeah.
Yes. Where we just recreate Tull albums.
Oh, every cover?
Every cover.
Oh, man, if we had a Patreon,
That would be,
Baby.
that'd be hot.
that would be a stretch goal.
Tell you what, if there's some well-to-do fan out there and you send us each $1,000, we will recreate the album cover from Jethro Tull of your choice in wedding attire.
And Jesse Winter will take the photos because he is a banging photographer.
That's right. That's right.
It's really good.
Yeah. Send an extra $500 for him.
Yep. He'll be on retainer.
So Nick,
Yeah.
Skating Away. This is a song that remained popular.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And I liked listening to it.
Boy, I'm sorry you all had to sit through 45 minutes just to get to that assessment at the end. It's valuable. It's a good song.
Yeah.
It's a good song.
Yeah. If this song was a cocktail, what kind of a cocktail would it be, Nick?
Oh, it'd be something fancy, I think.
Okay.
I think it'd be I don't know cocktails.
Okay.
So it'd be like, it'd have like champagne or, yeah, it'd be, I was going to say it'd be a gin and tonic with champagne, but.
Oh, yes, a gin and tonic with champagne.
Champagne and tonic?
Yes. A regretful, embarrassing night, as I believe what that's called.
It's called The Best Man. It's a gin and champagne.
Gee whiz.
Actually, that doesn't sound terrible.
Yikes.
Goo.
Maybe you're thinking of a Kir Royale.
I may have.
It's Kir with champagne.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
same. I guess.
quite good.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah.
Skating away, skating away, skating away.
Oh, and what are we listening to next week?
Nick, we are listening to next week a song which is unique in that it is one of only a handful of songs that I have ever sung in karaoke.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
It is Bungle in the Jungle.
It's also unique in that it's one of very few songs, Tull songs, that are played on the radio.
That's true.
Yeah, I hear this one the most frequent. And by frequent, I mean once a year, because nobody plays Tull. Darn it.
I hear it once every week or so at my job where there's a guy who plays classic rock literally the entire time.
They play it once a week?
Usually about once a week, yeah.
Well, that's not
Once
bad.
every other
So
week.
it's in regular rotation.
Yeah.
That's not. There are worse.
Until the bunglage of the junglage, you can be the hero of your own myth by saving the two fair princesses locked in their podcasting booth by giving us the key of a 5-star rating and review.
Skate on over to Apple Podcasts. I don't know what that had to do with skating away, to be honest. Skate away. Make sure you are scot away to Apple Podcasts and give us a review and a rating. And hopefully those 5 stars will reduce the temperature of the climate.
The chateau of your podcast reviews does not have to be a disaster if you review us positively and send us 5 stars. For tax purposes, you may want to send us 6 because the government always takes 1.
That's right. Yeah. Or unless you're in Switzerland,
Unless you're in
then you can
Switzerland,
send us the 5.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Until next week, I am Omen Sade.
And I am Nick McGill.
Together we are Feckless Momes.
And this is Talk Tull to Me.
This is the District and Hammersmith and City line, stopping at Barking Side, Barons Court, Baywater, Becontry, Belsize Park, Blackfriars, Black Horse, Bond, Bounds Green, Bow Road, Brent Cross, Bromley by Bow, Buckhurst Hill, Burnt Oak, Camden Town, Canary Wharf, Perrott Station, Cannon Street, Gunstuck, Cannons Park, Chalkform, and Cocktail to Me, which is a proud member of the Fectus Momes radio network. Mind the gap.